Hey Peepsy Doodles, and welcome back to the Ostara mini-series. So we did a little break from a lot of the informational stuff, and with the last video that I did, we made a protection blend. So today we're getting back into some more information, and we're going to be talking about the herbs that you can gather together and use for your Ostara / spring equinox rituals. Excuse the chain sound in the back. Hubby and Riri are downstairs practicing the disc golf stuff, so you're gonna hear that for a bit, so it just is what it is. So I'm gonna go through some of the herbs that are great for your Ostara practices and crafts and whatever, and then afterwards we're gonna go through and I'm gonna tell you guys some of the stuff that you can actually do with these different herbs. So let's get started. So one of the things that you're looking for when you're doing when you're gathering different herbs that you want for Ostara is the spring equinox is amazing for flowers, for bright colors, for floral things. So a lot of those would include lavender, calendula, which is also known as marigold, chamomile, rose petals or buds. I couldn't find my buds. I think my daughter took them somewhere, not sure. You know, all those kinds of things. You can also throw in dandelion root and leaves. You can even throw in the flowers if you want, but I just happen to have all the different parts of the dandelion other than the flowers. So dandelion is also great because in my neck of the woods, springtime is when dandelions start to come out. So let's kind of go through some of these little floral things, and then I've got a couple other ones to add to that. So let's just grab what I have here. So calendula. Calendula is also known as marigold. So calendula is associated with the sun, which is great because that's what we're trying to do with the spring equinox, is we're trying to bring about the sun. Where, you know, the earth is starting to wake up, it's starting to get warm. We need that sun here to kind of get rid of the rest of this cold, dank, dark, nasty snow. I apologize, but I'm over the snow. Calendula is great for love. You'll notice that's kind of a common theme. Sorry, my phone's dying. You'll notice it's kind of a common theme for a lot of these are love, fertility, healing, that type of thing. So calendula is great for love. It actually is one of the original OG plants of the whole he loves me not petal picking. It's also, if you use it, if you burn it, it's great like in an incense or on a charcoal block or in any kind of blend. It's great for consecration of your tools or anything like that. And then it's also really good for dreams, and it's great to be used in dream pillows. So next one we have is chamomile. Chamomile are those adorable little white flowers with the yellow centers, and they are so pretty and they smell so good. They're great for teas. Chamomile is another herb that is associated with the sun, so guess what? It's perfect for Ostara. And it's another one that's great for love, purification, peace, everything that we're looking for in our spring equinox. Rose petals. I don't think I have to explain this one to you guys. These ones, and they are a deep red. I know they look brown, but they're deep red. These are ones that I have actually kept. These were from my engagement bouquet that my husband had, and I kept them and dried them, and so these mean a lot to me, and I love to use them for Ostara, for love rituals. I use them at Beltane, you know, anything like that. So obviously rose, great for love, great for fertility. And also remember that when we're talking about love, we're talking about not just finding a partner, not just enhancing your marriage or enhancing your relationship, but also self-love. Coming out of the winter time and this time of just dead dormancy, a lot of us, especially up here in the north, get seasonal depression. We get down on ourselves. We kind of start to, you know, think nasty thoughts. So having this herb in your spring equinox rituals or just around on your altar really helps to bring about that self-love and those self-loving thoughts and get yourself back into the mindset that you are a badass and get rid of all those horrible thoughts. Lavender is my go-to lately because I've been learning all about it in my Greenwich Living course. So lavender has a stupid amount of uses for it. But particularly when we're talking about our spring equinox ritual, lavender is very fragrant. It's very floral, which is exactly what you want. So it's great for love, it's great for fertility, and it's also a great herb for protection. You know, we talked yesterday in our ritual about, or in our eggshell protection video, about having lavender, you know, in your home for protection or to sprinkle it around your property. So lavender's great. What else did I show you? Dandelions. So dandelions come up late spring up here in northern Michigan. So I have both dandelion leaf and dandelion root. Dandelions are great for wishes, as you know, like with the little, got the little puff ball and you make a wish and blow the seeds when you were kids. That's a form of magic. So any kind of dandelion, whether you have the leaf, the root, the flower, if you have it fresh, they're great for wishes. They're great for psychic abilities, and they also enhance the ability to call on spirits. So, okay, so here's a couple other ones that are not exactly floral, but are great for Ostara. So the first, of course, is sage. I feel like you can put sage in literally anything and just have it be wonderful. So sage, of course, is great for cleansing. You know, we're coming upon the new, well, for me, the new witches season. You know, everything is new. It's starting to warm up. We're getting fresh flowers. We're starting to spring clean. And so, like I said in my other video, along with spring cleaning, a great thing to do is to go around with some sage. And whether you have actual smudge bundles with sage already, like an actual smudge stick, or you just have loose sage like this, where you can just drop it on like a charcoal disc, you know, anything like that, where you can go through and actually smudge the shit out of your house, this is a wonderful time to do that. And it's a great thing to add to your altar for helping with cleansing. Maybe if you like the way your altar looks and you're not exactly going to reset it for the new year, I'm not resetting mine. I'm just kind of adding, you know, I added a few extra crystals and stuff, but I'll also be adding sage to my altar, and I will be completely smudging, you know, I'll be taking everything off, cleaning it down, and then re-smudging it with sage to kind of bring in the new energies of the year. And then finally, I didn't have any oak. So oak and white willow bark are both wonderful trees / barks to bring in for the spring equinox. White willow bark is actually known as the goddess tree. So it brings in all kinds of femininity. Pretty sure that's the word I wanted. Femininity. Yeah. It's great for fertility, for love, for healing, for dreams. It's great in dream work, great in your dream pillows. It's great for protection. This bad boy is like great for all the things. So white willow bark is awesome, especially if you're trying to add that little bit more of like a feminine touch, which if you haven't done so already with all of these wonderful flowers and the prettiness of it all, white willow bark is awesome, especially with it being the goddess tree. So now that we got all these ibs, look at them all. Look at all these ibs. It's just so many. You can only see 3, but I got a lot. So what exactly are we going to do with these? Like, what do we do with them? Yeah, so we freaking, sorry. What are we going to do with them all? Well, let me tell you, there's all kinds of shit. Guys, there's all kinds of shit that you can do with these, and it is so much fun. So you can create a purification bath for yourself, you know, that kind of goes along the lines of smudging and of cleansing your home, cleansing your mind and body. So you can make a purification blend to put in a little muslin bag and to put in your bath. Maybe use roses, you know, rose petals, lavender, you know, you can put sage in there if you want to. You can use calendula and chamomile are great for that, for all those purification purposes. Sorry, I'm just sitting here flicking you off. I didn't mean to. And we'll put them in a nice little thing and then just like rinse yourself take a nice purification bath, and actually take a bath meaning for it to be a purification bath. Don't just like put it in the tub and then go in there and just like read on your phone. Like actually, you know, put it in the bath or hang it on the nozzle of your bath and let it run through so that it's the whole water, all of your tub gets like infused with it. Maybe put in some sea salt at the bottom, you know, which is great for cleansing. You know, sprinkle in some salt. I actually have a little salt mixture of sea salt, black salt, and Himalayan salt that I sprinkle in my bath. And then, you know, take a cup of the water and just like rinse it down yourself, while you're imagining all of the negative energies and the stagnant yick of this past season washing off of you and starting anew with the spring equinox. Smudging, we already talked about. Smudging is a great thing to do during this time with your sage. But the nice thing is you can kind of mix it, especially if you have sage in powder form, not powder form, you know what I'm saying, all cut up and chopped up and nice. You can use some of the other herbs that we talked about for purification, like white willow bark. You can use lavender, you can use calendula, you know, all that stuff, and you can kind of mix it and make your own little purification, cleansing and purification incense blend. Light your charcoal block, sprinkle it over top of it, and go through and really give your house a nice bang. Because not only with, just remember when you're smudging, you're using the sage to get the nastiness out, but you need to burn something else along with the sage or after the sage, or have some kind of a spray or a mist to go through after to add something back into that space that you just cleared out. So burning some of these herbs together would do that all in one shot. So I would, for me personally, I would probably do sage, calendula, white willow bark, and lavender, as well as get some of my dragon's blood resin for an extra frickin' kick. And I would put that in there. Sorry, I was trying not to swear, trying to be good. It didn't work, sorry. You can make a cute little potpourri. So you can take all of this beautifulness and put it together in a gorgeous little bowl to set on your altar. You can have it just as like an offering, or you can actually mix up, you know, maybe your incense blend that you're going to be using, and just have it sit on a beautiful little display on your altar of these herbs, especially if they're ones that are more floral, like the lavender, like the rose petals. If they're a little bit newer, a lot of times they're pretty fragrant, and so just have them set on your altar as a display. You can make herbal water. So in order to make herbal water, you're basically making a tea of any of these, or a... Why
do you have water?
I'll show you in a minute. Of any of these, and as a mix as you want to, and put it together in a little spray bottle, and you can go around and spray your home, you know, especially the doorways, you know, spray the doorways of all of these ones that are protective and purifying. So chamomile, sage, basically all the same ones that I talked about for the incense, you can put together in a... You can put them all together in a bottle, let it steep like you would a tea, you know, let it cool on its own, put it in a bottle, and then spray your doorways, spray your windows, spray all the entrances in and out of your house. You know, just use it as basically like you would a smudge spray, and it works beautiful. Plus, if you put lavender in there, it smells amazing. That's pretty much what we did yesterday with, if you guys watched my video yesterday, for the monster spray. Only we just use lavender. Also, if you're going to use an herbal spray, know that you have to replace it pretty often, because if you're just using water and if you don't put any alcohol in there, it will get yucky on you. So probably, I don't know, weekly check on it to see if things are starting to like mold, or maybe like only make a little bit, go through and spray what you need and then get rid of it and then remake it fresh every time. Yeah, so then the other thing I'm going to show you is we can use herbs for divination. And one of the fun ways to do this is you get yourself water. I am using a glass dish. You can also use, I like using some kind of natural material. So you have glass, you have wood, you know, I mean, I probably wouldn't, you can use plastic or metal, whatever's around, but the more natural it is, the easier it is to connect to the elements, I think. And then if you have one that has a white bottom, that's perfect. I don't, so I just have a little white cloth here, and I will show you exactly what we're doing. Here we have our water with our white cloth underneath it. Here I'm going to be using Dandelion Leaves for this. You can get a mixture of any of these, excuse my daughter's pizza, of any of these that you want, or you can just use one. Dandelion, it was great for psychic ability and wishes and calling on spirits, so I think Dandelion works well. So you can sit here, concentrate on the bowl, you know, maybe we do a couple times around in a clockwise motion, call your spirits, call all your peeps and your guides in to come and help you. And then, now that my hands are wet, of course, then we're going to take the dandelion leaf. We're going to sprinkle it in. And if you already had it spinning in a clockwise motion, it's already starting to move. So sprinkle it in there and see what kind of things that you see right off the bat. Then maybe go in, give yourself a couple more clockwise motions. Really focus on this as you're spinning. You know, focus on what you're seeing. Focus on the water. Really just let your mind go at ease. Let your eyes settle. And then just watch. Like right there. Kind of just watch as the leaves start to clump together. See if you see any images, like right there. Before it started changing, I saw a dog or a horse. You know, so just kind of focus. See how they kind of clump off together, and you can almost see words, you can see numbers, you can see animals, you know. And so as you're looking through this, kind of write down what you're seeing. You can add more herbs, you can add different herbs. You know, if you put one in and then you want to add some lavender, maybe you want to add some rose petals, and just sit and just kind of let it settle and then stir it again and see what you see. So that is what I have for you guys for the Ostara herbs. I hope that you guys learned some things. I would love to hear what you guys do with your herbs for Ostara, and which not only what herbs that you use, but what exactly you do with your herbs. Maybe I said that. I don't know. I just want to know what herbs you use and what you do with them. So tomorrow is the spring equinox, and I just realized that because with everything happening with the world, I have a surprise day off tomorrow. I was mandated off, but that's probably a good thing because now I get to fully celebrate the spring equinox. I think it's going to rain tomorrow, which is fine because that means that I can put out a jar and collect some rainwater. So if it's going to rain in your area or maybe snow, don't forget to put a jar out so you can collect that beautiful spring water to use later on in the year in your rituals and whatnot. If you, you can also, if you have spring water already, you can kind of put a couple drops in your little divination bowl, get yourself a little bit of an extra oomph. So I hope that you guys have an awesome spring equinox. We'll see. I might be able to get one more video up for you tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Yeah, but I hope you guys have an awesome Sabbath, and I will see you very soon.